When we think about addiction, let's just start with addiction one. So when we think about addiction, it's defined in this book called the DSM, or the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of the American Psychiatric Association. So there are 11 symptoms that people must endorse. You must endorse a certain number of symptoms in order to meet criteria for addiction. Now, you endorse this required number of symptoms, and you must also be impaired or distressed by these symptoms. So these two requirements are required before you say someone is addicted. Yeah. Now, you don't look at someone's brain because there's no biomarker for addiction. Really? No,
there's no like MRI or CAT scan that would show.
No. Despite the bullshit that somebody might say, and they say a lot of this sort of stuff, but there's no biomarker. I mean, people say that, ask them to show you the evidence, but there is no biomarker at this moment in our history. So you have these symptoms, and they endorse these symptoms that they are distressed by them or they are impaired by these symptoms, and then they meet criteria for addiction. And so when we think about addiction, people can be addicted to any of these substances. But again, most of the people who use all of these substances are not addicted. And so when you look at why are people meeting criteria for addiction? They meet criteria for a wide range of reasons. I mean, people sometimes have co-occurring psychiatric illnesses. Sometimes they have just a limited sort of skill set. They don't know how to inhibit, delay gratification. A wide range of reasons are why people meet criteria for addiction. But if you're focusing on the drug, then you're going to miss the reason that they actually are exhibiting addiction. And so it's important to do a really thorough assessment of the person to understand, what's going on in this person's life, in this person's world with this person. What's going on?
So essentially, if your mental health is in check, then there should be relatively low risk, even if it is a compound that's Schedule 1, according to the U.S., like meth and crack.
Yeah, like in Drug Use for Grown-Ups, the book, right? This is the thing I tried to show people, right? I tried to use myself as an example, right? I went through all of these drugs, all these classes of drugs, used all of these drugs to show people, along with the scientific evidence, that the likelihood of addiction is very low in people who are responsible, who have jobs, who take seriously their responsibility, no matter what drug it is. Right. And I tried to help people to understand that most of the drugs are being used by the captains of industry, the people who are the movers and shakers in our society. That's why I wrote the book.